Jordan. This is the final movie of the week, Jordan. Jordan, this is probably the worst movie I watched this week. I cannot think of a worse movie. I hated this. I hated every second of this. This was on Disney Plus, Jordan. This was on Disney Plus? This was on Disney Plus. I watched this on Disney Plus. Jordan dared me to do this. He dared me to do this with his challenge of being like, you should do 50 Shades of Grey.
I never thought you actually would,
and then I went, fuck it. Let's do it. It'll be funny. It was not funny. This is 50 Shades of Grey.
So this is just an interview for the newspaper. I just have a couple of questions.
Mr. Grey will see you now.
What was he like?
He was polite,
Intense, smart, really intimidating. Do you have any interests outside of work?
What about you? I'd like to know more about you.
There's really not much to know about me. Look at me.
I am.
To what do you owe your success?
I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
It must be really boring.
I'm incapable of leaving you alone.
Then don't.
So before you get into all the dirty details of this,
I hate myself.
because I feel obligated to ask this, what did you hate more? This or either one of the Sex and the City movies?
This offends me.
Woo!
This.
So this finally
I get why people
dethroned-
like Sex and the City. I don't understand why anyone likes this. It's
this
terrible.
dethroned Sex and the City. Oh, this must have been bad.
It is everything bad about Twilight ratcheted up to 11. The main girl, was clearly told to just be Kristen Stewart from Twilight. She does everything Kristen Stewart does in Twilight. She has shitty bangs. She does that thing where she looks up at people. She has no charisma. Like, she's... Okay, the big thing with 50 Shades of Grey that you need to understand, just the history of this piece of shit, is it began its life as a Twilight fanfic. But they had to take it down. The author had to take it down because the main author of Twilight didn't like how graphic and sexual it was. And so all of the characters in this are just worse versions of their characters from Twilight. So the main guy, the main girl is Anastasia, Bella Anna. The main guy is Christian Grey, Edward Cullen, Christian Grey. She's got a Hispanic guy friend who's just Jacob. The only difference between
are they vampires?
No, they're real people. They're not vampires. So that's what makes a lot of this shitty. So okay, the whole thing with this is the inciting incident is,
How's it work?
Christian Grey is a CEO, a rich CEO for a company, and Anastasia Anna has gone there on behalf of her friend who was supposed to do the interview but could not because she has the flu. So now Anna is doing it. And Anna assumes that the interview has gone badly. And in the first of many fucking red flags that this woman chooses to ignore for some reason.
Willfully
Thank you,
ignores.
that was the word I was looking for. Willfully ignores. He shows up she works at a hardware store, and he shows up and buys zip ties, masking tape, and
red flag. Gets a red flag here.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is a great serial killer kit," and then still goes to coffee with him. And they go for coffee, and he is already creepy and possessive. Like, he keeps trying to tell her what to do, and he's like, "I always get what I want." And his line reads, his dialogue reads, everything he says it like at one point, quick diatribe, when in terms of casting, they went through a shit ton of casting. They wanted Robert Pattinson and Kristen
And he was
Stewart
like, "No."
and chose not to because they thought it would be too weird. The reason why they didn't cast them. Anyway, so they go for coffee. She goes out with her friend. And
Probably supposed to read like a dominating dominatrix type thing, but just reads as creepy.
Hold on. Hold your thoughts. Hold on comments until I'm done describing this. Okay. So she goes out to party with her friends and she gets way too drunk. And even though I don't recall them ever exchanging numbers, they have exchanged numbers now. And she phones Christian Grey, and Christian Grey is like, "You're too drunk. You have to stop drinking now. I'm coming to," and then he just, not knowing, she didn't tell him where he was, he just shows up at this party and like takes her home, and the brother takes the friend home, and then she crashes at his place, and then nothing happens, and then they go back to her place and the brother is having sex with the friend. They've hooked up, like he's in the middle of having sex with her, and he reveals that he wants to have a relationship with, he basically is like, I'm not a normal guy. I'm not into normal things. And he shows her his playroom of BDSM stuff.
Aha, there it is.
So wait, so did you know nothing about this?
I know very little
You didn't
about
know that it was a
50 Shades of
BDSM
Grey.
thing?
I know that it's smut.
Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, so he reveals this room, and she's like, "Yeah, no, not into this." And I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, well, okay. There's only one way this movie goes. She gets in too deep, realizes he sucks, and then leaves him. That's how this movie ends. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy in this movie, right?
And how accurate was that assumption?
It's okay. So he presents her with a contract where he's like, I want to be in a submissive domination.
Is this the one that the girl is played by Maggie Gyllenhaal and she gets spanked?
She's not played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, but she does get spanked. She's played by Dakota Johnson, who was in. She's the girl from Madam Web.
Because I have a vague memory. I have a vague memory of it was Maggie Gyllenhaal though, but on Channel 39 of there being like a movie that was on once.
This is way past Channel 39 days.
Fair enough.
So okay, so
different thing.
Different era. So he wants to have this dom sub relationship with her, and he wants her to sign this contract. And there's a scene of her like, he's like, do your research and read the contract. And she reads the contract, and it's a bunch of really fucked up shit of like, you can't drink, you can't do, and it's all like really super controlling. And she initially is like, no, basically, is long and short of it. And he reveals that when he was 15, he had a dom sub relationship with a family friend, a family friend. And I'm like, it just kind of sounds like this.
So he was abused.
Right. This woman sexually abused you, and you have conflated it with love because you were 15 and you didn't know.
I mean, there's no sounds like he was 15. He couldn't consent. She abused him.
And
it's not
no,
somehow
but
magically.
When I say abused, I mean like physically abused you. I don't just mean like emotionally abused you. I mean, it sounds she beat the shit out of you, and you've just conflated it with love. That's what it sounds like.
I'm just saying that like if the backstory of this was like it was a female and we were talking about a male, we wouldn't be questioning this.
No, I'm not questioning it. I'm saying it's abuse, but I'm saying royal you. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, exactly, because he's a guy. We're not questioning it, but no, this is abuse. You were abused. You were abused by an older woman, and you have now conflated it into love. And it just kind of sounds like it's just so much of it. Like, there's so many scenes of him, like, hitting her with shit that it's like, it just kind of seems like you want to hit women, and you've used this. Because it's implied that he's done this with all kinds of other women, and she's the first one to put him in his place. And it's like, it just kind of sounds like you want to physically abuse women and you need an excuse to or a reason to. And nobody's questioning how fucked up this is because you're young and handsome. And if you were an older man, this would be red flag city. And like the dialogue is atrocious, Jordan. There's an entire sequence where they're talking about how far she's willing to go. And she's like, well, I don't know. I've never done. He's like, are you a virgin? And she's like, yeah. And then there's an entire scene of him in her, like deflowering her. Oh, I hate that. I hate saying that. But yeah, there's a scene of her having her first time, and it goes on for fucking ever. And like, there's so many scenes of him, just like there's one bit where like she's all tied up and he's whacking her with a riding crop. And you're like, this is what? Again, different strokes for different strokes for different folks. But in this context, it just looks like at one point he gets really pissed off because she says she's gonna go visit her mom, and she doesn't tell him. So he like hoists her over his shoulder and just starts slapping the shit out of her, and not her face but her ass. And you're like, this just looks like abuse. Like I'm sure there is a consensual, safe version of this. That's not what this look. And it's a lot of him saying what I would describe as like Edward Cullen dialogue of being like, we can't be together because of what I am. Because of what I am. That clearly are like remnants of when this was a Twilight fanfic. And like, yeah, if he were a vampire, him being a inhumane, creepy piece of shit is different.
Makes a certain amount of sense.
But he's a human being, and this movie is like, you've taken way too long to realize he's a creep. Like, just entirely too, like, she falls in love with him, and he's a weird, disgusting creep, and he only gets away with it because he's handsome. It's so fucking weird. It's so weird. And so, there's 2 more movies.
How?
I don't know, Jordan! I don't know! So, how do you think this ends?
Well, now you've said there's 2 more movies, so I'm questioning what I would have thought.
If I hadn't said that, what would you have said is the way this movie ends?
She breaks up with him and she moves on with her life.
So, okay. So it gets to the end of the movie. She
But
finally,
now I'm thinking that's not right.
well, she finally is on the verge of agreeing to sign the contract, and she's done a bunch of the BDSM shit, and she seems to be into it. And it gets to a point where she's like, she's still conflicted. She's like, what's the worst punishment you can do? And so she naked, ties her up, and just like belts her with his belt, and like makes her count it. And then she's like, yeah, no, never doing that again. Absolutely fucking not. And then walks out and the movie ends.
How's there a sequel?
I don't know, Jordan!
Are we following?
No!
In the sequel, are we following her or are we following him? Like
my best guess is the second one is about him trying to win her back. But then I'm like, but then how is there a third one? And surely by one of these, the character that's basically just Jacob gets interjected, and it becomes a love triangle. But I'm like, okay, maybe a second one, Jordan. Maybe a second one. How is there a third one? Jordan, I'm gonna end up watching it.
I was just gonna say. So what I'm hearing is I have to send my best investigative reporter into this. I need you to subject yourself to torture and tell me, so that I don't have to watch them.
I'm gonna have to watch.
I googled it, and the movie I was thinking of is called Secretary.
Never heard of it. Jordan, I hated this. I hated this so much. It bothers me that women like this. Like, this movie is like the highest grossing movie to come out on Valentine's Day.
I just remember that like when this came out, it was infamous for being popular with middle-aged women.
Yeah, with that's what Wikipedia said, the exact same thing. Middle-aged wine moms and white women. Yeah, aptly into this, which I don't get why. He sucks. Like, the only thing he has going for him is that he's handsome. He treats her like dog shit. Like I don't like Twilight, but he doesn't. He treats her like halfway decently.
Yeah, and there's also at least like halfway decent of a
It
story there.
like he's looking for an excuse to hit women and have an excuse to do so. Like, he's just such a vile piece of shit.
When did this come out?
I'm gonna have to Google this, but I want to say
2000, 2009, 2011?
No. Way after that. The movie or the book?
Both.
Both? Okay, the movie. And yeah, just the dialogue is bad. It's all bad. All of the sex scenes go on for an eternity. It's basically
Just 'cause I'm interested.
the book came out in 2011.
Okay.
It's softcore porn, Jordan. It's the shit that would be on Channel 39 or
Well, I'm just trying to
City TV on a Friday night at 2 a.m.
I'm just trying to put my mind of like
The movie came out
where
in
was
2015. Oh, that was the other thing. You'll never
Interesting.
guess who does the fucking music for this.
because I'm just trying to put my mind in the like where was the world at this point?
Yeah, this
Because
game.
like where the world is in 2000 is a decidedly different place than where the world is in 2016.
Well, I mean, 2011, I mean, we're just coming off of Twilight kind of being a thing. It's not really a massive thing at the time. But the movie came out in 2015, a budget of $40 million. It made $569 million. Big hit. Like I say, I don't know if it still is, but for the longest time, it was the highest grossing movie to come out on Valentine's Day.
That's upsetting.
I just like look. Oh man, I feel like I've done a lot of like saying borderline sexist shit this week, but like it happens. It's on the holiday I hate the fucking most. I don't understand how women can say they like this and then act surprised when men abuse them. That sounds bad. That sounds bad. I don't mean it that way. Oh god, I take that back immediately. But like, he's an abusive piece of shit, and all of the women fawned over this. Like, women love this book, but I'm like, but he's a monstrous asshole.
I think, well, I mean, Justin, the key is
being rich and handsome.
No, I was gonna say you said you don't understand. It sets a dangerous precedent for what women think that men will think will be okay. The key is that they don't think that men will watch this.
Oh, that's valid. Or read it. That's also valid.
Or read it.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's a valid point. Like I say, he hits her at one point, like screams at her and treats her like utter dog shit, and then flies her in a helicopter or in a plane, and she makes a dumb face like, wee, and she's like into it.
Also,
like, bro, he just hit you. What are you doing?
Also, and I will put this in. I will put this out there as a thing to make note of. There is a very, very distinct difference between whether it be man or woman, what someone fantasizes about and what they actually want to have happen.
Well, according to what I read about this, to be fair, the BDSM community fucking hates this book and this movie.
For a reason.
For a reason, because they say, and yes, absolutely, it absolutely misrepresents that community to a absurd degree, which it does. Knowing what little I know about it, it absolutely does. What, like they say that it's using that community as a scapegoat for him to abuse her. And that's what it is. Like a lot of the conditions
what you're describing, that's what it sounds like.
Nothing to do with like, it's just a lot of like, you can't dress a certain way, you can't drink a certain way, you can't act a certain way. It's just controlling. It's just control. In a legal contract, apparently the movie is better than the book, which doesn't seem possible to me. It just doesn't seem possible to me. There's no way. How could it be worse? And the number one thing I do remember about the book is I remember a friend took me to like a classy bookstore, like an ornate, like really classy, fancy, like old-fashioned style bookstore in Victoria. And I remember walking in, and front and center was 50 Shades of Grey. And I remember opening it up to like whoa, that is smut. That is some smutty smut.
Oh, it's the smuttiest of smut.
Smuttiest of smut. Yeah, I would love, maybe by the time I do, like, I would love to get a person who likes this movie and this book.
Come on and defend it.
I would love to get them on, and I would love for you to explain to me why you like this. In the comments, tell me if you like this movie and why. And I need you to give me details.
Or book.
Either. And if you're like, I like it because it's smut, I'm going to be like, yeah, but surely there's less destructive smut out there. Like, surely there's better smut than where the guy isn't a complete monster. Like,
Valley of literature and lingerie. You're a book person. Maybe you know.
That's a good point. She's a book person. Maybe she can tell us.
Maybe you know why this was so popular.
Maybe that's it. Maybe we'll reach out and see if maybe she wants to come on and do another book
Defend.
episode. I'm sure she's probably seen, because this is definitely going to be a YouTube video. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it kind of has to be.
I'm going to have to find a way. I feel like we've talked about this long enough that there's some times where I go to look at my footage afterwards and I'm like, holy shit, we talked about that for 20 minutes. It felt like we only talked about it for 10. like last week when we talked about Ultimate Muscle, that turned into a 28-minute video. That felt like we talked about it for like 10 minutes at best. It was very strange. So, yeah, maybe she'll see this and she'll comment and she'll tell me why people like this book, because I don't get it. I don't get it. And like there's times where I'm like I don't like this, but I'm not the target demographic, and I
can at least see who would and why they would.
The audience this is for. I can see it. I understand it. I don't understand why this was so successful. As like a niche thing that like not many people know about and is not crazy popular, but like this made a shit ton of money. A lot of people watch this movie, and I need to understand why. Somebody has to explain this to me, because it was awful. It was an awful 2 hours. I wanted to bash my brains in. Like I hated this more than Sex and the City. I did, but it's close. It is close. It's certainly like the most hatred I felt for a movie in a while. I didn't quite feel. I think it's the worst thing I watched this week. I just hate it on a conceptual level. I hate its existence. If I could go back in time and like go up to E.L. James and like knock the pencil out of her hand or the typewriter or smash her laptop or anything in between, I would do it. If I could go back in time, walk up to her, typing up the manuscript of this, if I could burn the manuscript of 50 Shades of Grey so I never had to watch this movie, I would do it. I don't see any negative way in which me going back in time and destroying the manuscript for 50 Shades of Grey would impact the world in a negative way.
Any negative consequences.
No, I really can't. I really can't think of a way that would create any negative consequences for anything. And that sounds like I'm joking, but I'm not.
The negative consequence, Justin, would be that instead of there being a bad, smutty version of Twilight, it would be like, I don't know, Harry Potter or something
I can't
else.
believe there isn't like a wizard movie that's Harry Potter smut. Like I can't believe that doesn't exist. Like that shocks me, to be honest with you.
Maybe with this new version of the show,
you're gonna be like, but
out,
they're teenagers, Justin. Yeah, so is
it'll inspire someone.
Age those wizards up, make them adults.
Oh no, they're instead of them being at young people boarding school, now they're at like college.
Yeah, they're in wizard college. Exactly. Yeah, they're in wizard college, and it becomes
boom, problem solved.
But yeah, oh my god, like it's crazy though. Like when you're watching it, you're like, holy shit, this is just Twilight. All of the dialogue, it's like he's saying that I'm a vampire Twilight dialogue, but he's not a vampire, so it's inexcusable. Like, there's a lot of that in this. Like, yeah, at least Edward Cullen didn't get molested when he was 15. Like,
that we know of.
What the fuck kind of like he says I was 15 and it lasted for 6 years. So like it just kind of I'm guessing she must come back. It must have been an age thing. He must have aged out. But like, yeah, she's a pedophile, man. You just described a pedophile. Weird. Fucking hate that. Anyway, I need to stop this now. It's just going to turn to me ranting more about how much I hate this movie. The only reason why this rant is so long is because I knew it had to be the last thing I watched. Otherwise, I will say, it definitely had the effect of, it made me like Brokeback Mountain more. It definitely had that effect, and it's going to make me like whatever I watch next week more. Speaking of... Hey there, everybody. It's Endcart Justin here. I hated this. I hated this so much. I hate it. I don't understand it. Somebody explain it to me. Seriously, I don't understand what... Sorry. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But in the meantime, if you would like to see the full podcast, that this is from our Totally Not Cynical Valentine's Day special, click the box on the left. If you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just please leave this video a like. It makes it worthwhile. Anyway, we'll see you all in the next video, everybody. Have a good day.